runners, running with the runners, running with the runners.
All right, welcome in. You are running with the runners. It's November 18th, 2025. Black Friday has come early, Mims. Are you ready to do some buying, getting ready for Christmas and the new year?
Man, pumped up and excited as always, folks. I'm telling you, I just love documenting the collapse of the debt-based fiat monetary system. It's important that people really understand what we're looking at and understand where we're going, and then you just get excited because you see the opportunity and not the chaos. You see the solution and not the problem. You know, and so once again, we got a phenomenal show for you guys. Make sure you like this out, share this out because most people, have no idea what's going on. They don't have the proper mindset for the things that are getting ready to take place. They're not getting the right information, and we want to make sure that we're continuing to spread that message, give that positive energy, show you how you can diversify and secure yourself and to capitalize on the largest wealth transfer in history with physical and digital assets. So once again, great show for y'all tonight. Mike, what's good, brother? How are you?
Man, I am just so excited because, again, guys, we have been teaching you, have been following us to flip the script. When I see prices of assets I believe in long-term going down, I get excited. Christmas is coming early. I buy Bitcoin every day, guys, every single day since 2021. So do I want to buy Bitcoin at 125,000 or 90,000?
That part.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joseph, one of the new Texas Rangers Ricardo got to hang out with last week down in Dallas, Texas. Josh is ready to run with the runners. So tonight, guys, the main topic we're going to talk about is mining versus buying.
Yeah.
Because if you bought cryptocurrency probably in the last 3 to 4 months, you're probably down. So what are you going to do? You're just going to wait, right? When do you buy? You don't know, right? We're going to get into all that. Whereas if you're mining, you don't really care about the price because you're getting more of it every single day. But Mims, there is so much going on in this economy right now. It's absolutely crazy. Let's just cover a few highlights. I got a few quick videos that I wanted us to watch, and then we will get into what is going on and what you guys should be doing. So, guys, I just want to show you some headlines here of this week, and then ask yourself, does it make any sense that Bitcoin would go under 100,000, below 90,000 this week? On November 10th, 4 million Square merchants can now accept Bitcoin with no fees starting today. And I saw video evidence of this, Mims. People using Bitcoin on the Lightning Network this week, and then Bitcoin goes down. You have SoFi, a $36 billion bank, said live on CNBC they will launch Bitcoin trading to all customers today, the first national bank to offer Bitcoin ever. You have, we'll go over that later. Let's listen to Vice President J.D. Vance here, guys. This is the Vice President of the United States on November 13th saying this.
The consistent fear that I hear is that there's still this perception that digital assets are not welcome in the mainstream economy. And let me promise you that our effort to change the policy is purely about changing that. We want our fellow Americans to know that crypto and digital assets, and particularly Bitcoin, are part of the mainstream economy and are here to stay.
Now, Mims, if you heard the Vice President of the United States saying that, crypto is here to stay, we want all the normal people to get involved in crypto, does it make any sense? Bitcoin is just going to go down 10, 20% in a week?
No, not unless we got, the major market manipulators and corruption that we normally have in any market, and that's why it's important that you have the understanding of what's going on in the market, because this is why I talk about digital assets. It's important that people use that term, not cryptocurrency. I like cryptocurrency, I call it crypto, but digital assets is a much more powerful term, in my perspective, to kind of help people kind of grasp what it is that they're actually holding or trading or selling. You're selling assets, you're trading assets, you're accumulating assets in a digital form. And so when you have the administration that we have, when you have, the institutions, okay, and the world acknowledging blockchain and Bitcoin and integrating with it, yeah, I mean, it obviously the future is bright for digital assets, but yeah, it kind of would not make any sense right now while Bitcoin is going down. But for those who have the right mindset, like us, Mike, we see it as an opportunity.
Yeah, and apparently Harvard did either. They just didn't time it quite right. So in November 14th, Harvard University buys $320 million in Bitcoin ETFs, increasing its exposure by 237%. This is, again, I think we might have seen this one, but it's worth watching again, guys. I mean, this was posted November 15th. Donald Trump.
I only care about one thing. Will we be number one in crypto? Crypto has turned out, and in that sense, I've been right. Crypto's turned out to be a massive industry, if you want to call it that. And I only care about one thing. Will we be number one in crypto?
I only care about one thing. Will we be number one in crypto? Donald Trump says last week, and the markets take a dump.
Yeah.
This is a shakeout, guys. It's a complete shakeout.
Most definitely. And then also another term that you got to think about when you hear crypto, think about blockchain. Okay? Because people will say, oh, crypto, that's just, it's this and that. And they have these preconceived notions, in their mind. They already have this idea of what crypto is, but they don't understand the underlying technology. They don't understand the blockchain. And that's what's going to take you from a speculative space to realizing that this is the greatest opportunity in human history to have freedom and liberty and really create world wealth in a decentralized manner. And so that's what it's really about. That's what the fight is about right now. We're in a fight. We're in a global war. This is something that is going to be talked about, studied, and debated for centuries to come. That's how important this time is right now. So don't get distracted, and definitely don't think that crypto and these digital assets are not here to stay. These are assets for a reason.
Will they call it the fiat digital war? What are they going to call? We got to brainstorm that one night, M.I.M.S. What will this war be called? The monetary wars, the money wars. So this is the one video I want to watch. Then we're going to get into mining versus buying. Jack Mallers is probably one of the biggest Bitcoin evangelists and digital assets evangelist out there. He says, understand the crash isn't in assets. It's in the currency. The default is through inflation, and Bitcoin and blockchain is the only market honest enough to show it. In fiscal dominance, owning better money is how you short the system, buy the dips, because it's the money that's falling. So let's listen to this short video of how it is the monetary system that's falling, not blockchain, crypto, gold, silver, real assets.
Things are crashing, things are failing, but what the world doesn't seem to understand is they're failing up. People that think everything failing, fiat collapsing, means that the stock market's going to go down 50%. They're not living in the same universe as you and I.
The whole thing is just going to fall. It's like free fall. There's no bottom.
They don't know what's happening. We are defaulting slowly. We are defaulting via inflation. The United States won't actually default. They won't call up their debtors and say, hey, we can't make you whole. Because they can make everyone whole. Because they can print what they owe. And so Bitcoin is the only asset class that actually is the best expression of fiat, both to the downside and the upside. It's the only thing that's telling us the truth, because it's the only free market we have left. If Bitcoin's going to go through a multi-year bear market, US liquidity and fiat liquidity globally is going to continue to tighten for many years to come. The reason we were in a bear market from, call it 2022 until 2024 is because they did tighten liquidity. And my point is, the reality is that the US government has not provided the fiat liquidity to keep this financial system going. They've talked about printing the money. They campaigned on printing the money. According to the math, they literally and physically have to print the money. The United States is preparing $2,000 stimulus checks. Japan is preparing a $110 billion stimulus package. China has approved a $1.4 trillion stimulus package. The Fed is officially ending QT on December 1st. These things are happening. They're not about to happen. They're not going to happen. I don't think they're happening. They are happening. Buy the dips because the money is failing.
Whew, I just got goosebumps, Mims. Goosebumps, guys. These things are happening, guys.
Yeah.
They will always print more dollars. That's the one thing we can bank on. They will always print more dollars. If you're saving in dollars, you will lose. That's the number one economic lesson that we have been taught in the last 110 years since the Federal Reserve has been created.
Yeah, it's like I always say, I'd rather be 1 year or even 2 years too early than 1 day too late to the largest wealth transfer in history. And the monetary system, it begs for more money to be created into the system, but money is debt. And like we've been talking about for years, Mike, this is why gold and silver hit all-time highs. This is why Bitcoin hit all-time highs. But we're also seeing that there is a crisis. Make no mistake about it. You know, there is a financial crisis going on. You know, and during that crisis, if you do the right things, it's actually an opportunity, and that's what we like to focus on. But yes, right now they have to print money. They will print money, and if you do the right things, you're going to benefit from that money printing, as opposed to being on the other side of that, where you're going to kind of suffer financially because the value of your currency is worth less, and the price of the goods and services that you're paying for and that you need to survive are rising.
And one thing before we switch over, I just want to get where we're at and document this journey, right? Okay, right now Bitcoin is at $92,000. It went down to about 89,000 in the last day or two.
Wow.
We can look at the 7-day, you know, Aerodrome's down 27%, Sui's down 18. What's H bar? I just saw H bar.
166 for Sui? Oh, good deals. My goodness.
H bar is at 15. Yeah, Sui at $1.66.
Yeah.
AVAX under 15. I've been buying lots of AVAX. I'll be honest with you guys.
Yeah.
Anything below 16, I buy AVAX. And you know, you guys, this is not anything to be crazy scared about, right? We still have.
What's that fear and greed index looking like? Is it 15?
We're at 15.
Oh yeah.
I mean, some things are still pumping. Telcoin, 114
Telcoin.
this week.
Yeah.
StarkNet 57. Zcash is still kind of ripping.
Privacy.
I hear
coin.
people talking about Aster. So it's not doom and gloom, but again, this is a shakeout, right? They want you to sell. They want you to go away. They want you to stop paying attention. Meanwhile, M.I.M.S, gold, still over $4,000. Silver, still over $50. So again, guys, the plan does not change. I don't care about the dollar price, right? We measure our wealth in assets.
That's right.
Once that flips, everything changes. When the price of an asset goes down that you believe in long term, you get excited. You want to buy it. But here's the problem, M.I.M.S, and now we're going to transition.
Okay.
We are going to talk about buying crypto versus mining crypto. All right. And here's what people don't grasp, M.I.M.S. Okay. I'm going to talk about 3 things and we're going to break it down. Number 1, emotion. Okay. People are driven by fear and greed. So when you are just buying crypto, you have got to master your fear and greed. 99% of people can't do that, right? And we'll get into this more later. When do I buy? When do I sell? What happens then? But I saw this tweet today, M.I.M.S, and it made sense. So let's say you're one of those people who says, no, buying's better. I'm just going to buy whatever. I'm going to buy Bitcoin. I'm going to buy Texit. I'm going to buy whatever, right? But here's the hidden cost of selling Bitcoin, or you could say Texit. Let's say you bought years ago. You entered at $30,000, right? You sell Bitcoin at 110. It's at 90 now. You're like, oh, I was a genius. I sold at 110. It's down to 90, right? You gain $80,000. You pay your taxes at 24. After tax, you made $86,000. You're like, I'm a genius. This is amazing, right? You basically doubled your money after tax. Your accountant congratulates you. Your wife says, great job. You feel smart. But here's a psychological trap. You will never buy back at a higher price than you sold. Not at 125, not at 140, not at 170, definitely not at 200.
Mm.
You keep waiting for that better entry because you're out of the game. Sure, doubling your money, making $86,000, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all agree in this economy, it's not life-changing. It's not wife-changing.
That part.
Pay off some debt. Maybe you buy a new car, you go on a vacation, but you're out of the game because you sold. You keep waiting for a better entry that's never coming. You perfectly time the win because a permanent exit from the greatest trade of your lifetime. And that's it, Mems. That is the struggle
Yeah.
face with just buying crypto.
Yeah.
When do you buy? How much do you buy? When do you sell? How much do you sell? When do you go back in, right? If somebody bought Bitcoin at 120,000 and it's now at 90, if they were smart, if they were not emotional, they'd be like, well, if I bought Bitcoin at 120, I definitely want to buy it at 90.
Yeah.
But what if it goes to 75? Well, then you want to buy twice as much. But let's be honest, guys, how many people think this way?
No.
Right? How many people just have endless money to keep being like, all right, well, Bitcoin dropped again. I'm going to keep buying, right? The discipline that takes is beyond what most people can bear. Not to mention, Mims, you got to pay attention to the market all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You're waking up in the middle of the night. Oh, what's going on? Oh, I'm down 30%. Sell, sell, sell. You've seen this all. So,
Oh yeah.
your reaction to that tweet of just this is about human psychology, guys. It's fear and greed, and most people are not built for the turbulence and the volatility of the crypto market in this day and age.
You know, that was great to help people get a better perception of investing, because most people come from the employee side or maybe even self-employed, but when you start to get into the business owner and investor side, it requires a different mindset, different fortitude, the ability to see the macro and the micro and not be influenced in the current moment of the situation. And when I saw that, it just made me think about, why are we thinking about selling anyway? We don't sell assets. We leverage them. You use them as collateral. You borrow against them. So when it comes to your physical assets, your silver or gold or your Bitcoin, there should be no price in your mind, in my opinion, that you're like, I'm going to sell, because what are you selling into? You're selling into something that loses value, fiat currency, dollars. That's what you're thinking about. And this is the important piece of that mindset, where stop valuing your wealth in dollars. Value your wealth in quantity or of assets. How many ounces of silver I got? How many Bitcoins or Texacoins do I got? That's how you need to value your wealth. And don't think about selling, because a dollar is not a unit of wealth. It's not value. It's not going to, maintain its value over time. But the assets increase over time as the dollar loses value, and as the blockchain and ecosystems grow. Our ability to borrow from these assets is getting easier. It's getting better. You will never have to sell. You'll be able to live off the interest and the yield from your assets. And so that's the mindset you need to have. So right now, you just need to accumulate more. You just need to accumulate more and accumulate more, and then learn how to leverage and put those assets to use for yourself.
And that brings me to my first kind of thing I wanted to focus on, right? Is people who only want to buy are thinking short term, right? It's like, you don't want the golden goose that's going to keep laying eggs over and over and over again for years and years to come. You just say, give me that golden egg. It's worth so much money right now. I want it. So short term, if you go out to buy crypto, Bitcoin, Texas, whatever, in the short term, it's possible it could go up a lot more than if you're consistently mining for the next 136 years.
Yeah.
And that's, again, Mims, it comes down to the fear and greed. People look at it and they're like, well, okay, Mike, if I buy this miner, all right, I get a little bit of a token a day for the next 136 years. But how long is it going to take me to, it's only making $3, $4 a day, right? It's going to take me, 200 days, 250 days to even like get my money back, right? But if I just go and buy the token, it could go up 50%, 100%. If people get on that high of like a gambling addiction, right? And they just want that short-term hit. And that's all they can think about. And of course, M.I.M.S, this goes against everything we teach, right? Is you don't want to get rich quick. You want to get wealthy slowly by getting the golden goose.
Yeah.
That you don't have to worry about the price. You might take a break from crypto and not think about blockchain for a year. Guess what, M.I.M.S? When you decide to open up your Texas wallet, you have a lot more tokens. The price is probably going to go up, right? It makes it easier for the average ordinary person to get into these crypto markets.
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. If you're wondering and you have people who are wondering, what's the best way to start and get into crypto, it's through mining. But most people don't know about mining. They've never heard the term. They don't understand how to do it. And this is why we get so excited, because the way we're doing it is so simple and user friendly. Anybody can do it. I mean, literally. And so, you can buy these digital assets or you can get paid in it. I tell that all the time. I love the idea of buying something one time and getting paid every single day, or receiving every single day for the rest of my life that digital asset. I don't care if the market goes up. I don't care if the market goes down. I know the overall trajectory of the market, and that gets me excited. So in the process, I'm accumulating an asset every single day. It's just coming to my wallet, and my ability to sell it at any time, my ability to just hold on and accumulate it, or my ability to swap it out for one of my other favorite digital assets whenever and however I like, is available. I mean, this is the way to get in blockchain and crypto. And I have a lot of people who are trying to learn crypto and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to start. Well, would you rather figure it out and then get paid, or would you rather get paid while you're figuring it out? I don't know about y'all, but I'd rather get paid while I'm figuring it out, right?
Earn while you learn. I think
That's
that's become one of my new favorite buzzwords and phrases. Earn while you learn, right? If you just come into this space and you buy some crypto, it's just going to sit there, right? Let's see, you got all excited. Oh my gosh, Bitcoin hit 120,000. I got to get in and get some Bitcoin. And then, of course, the market always does the opposite of what you want. You buy it at 120,000. The next week, it's 90,000, right? Your $1,000 now tells you it's 750. You feel defeated. And what can you do, M.I.M.S? Just sit there, watch it go down, or put more in. How many people do you think that bought Bitcoin at 120 are going to buy more when it's 90? Very few.
Very
And M.I.M.S,
few.
you hit the next point I was going to do, right?
Yeah.
Is mining, right? When you buy a miner, you buy it one time and you get paid daily.
Powerful. Powerful.
Huh?
Yeah. I said it's powerful.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you were saying Powell, Jerome Powell. He's printing
No.
more dollars.
No. No, that's powerful. People who grasp the simplicity, but the magnitude of that. Go ahead.
But if you just buy it the entire time, you're like, when do I sell? How much do I sell? And I mean, M.I.M.S, and you and I talk about this all the time. Is like, we can't believe how many people will buy something. It'll drop 50% and they'll sell it. You don't lose if you don't sell, guys. Like, I'm holding down to zero if need be, right? But again, most people's psychology and fear and greed and emotion can't handle that, right? And that's why mining is so much more hassle-free, is it's a one-time purchase and you get paid daily.
And that, and they do it when it comes to their 401ks. When their retirement accounts, they've already accepted the idea that they're not going to touch that for 40 years, one, because they'll get penalized, but they will have a market crash like 2008, and they'll still have their money in the market, not learning from that experience, But the thing is that, the most important thing that people need to understand is that we're going through a global shift, okay? And the shift is the old monetary system is inefficient, doesn't work. It's not beneficial to us anymore. There is a new financial system, okay, that is beneficial to us, and that works and that can put you in position to change your life forever and never have to worry about money and create generational wealth. But it's just about you taking advantage, finding the right opportunities, getting the right information, following the right people, acquiring the right assets in this time that is going to make that monumental shift for you and your family, you know? And so while we try to explain to people all the time the problems, the dollar and everything else, and we show people the options that they have in these digital assets. It's like you said, Mike, most people, they won't take advantage because they have that normalcy bias, complacency bias. They suffer from cognitive dissonance, but we've been showing people and telling people the whole time, this is what you want to do. While the dollar's collapsing, while there's a change in the monetary system, take the dollars, acquire assets, physical and digital assets. And the best way to get in the digital asset space is mining, hands down, 100%.
Here's the last point I want to hit. What happens after you sell? Like the tweet that we read. This guy made a perfect play, M.I.M.S. He bought Bitcoin at 30,000. He sold at 110. He paid his taxes. He doubled his money. He just missed the greatest opportunity of his life. He won, but think of all the opportunity he had in the future if he played it a different way. So again, you just buy crypto and then you sell it and you make a profit. You made your money.
Yeah.
You're completely out of the game, right? You got nothing paying you digital rewards every day. And M.I.M.S, this is how I break it down, right? If you time the housing market right, can you buy a house for 400,000 and sell it for 500,000? You make $100,000, right? Maybe you put a little bit of money into it. But once you sell that house, it's done. It's over. You're just flipping houses. People that just buy and sell crypto, that's what they do. People who are looking for mining and other rewards that just pay you digitally every day, they're the Robert Kiyosaki's. They're the Grant Cardones who says, give me the money machine that is giving me consistent daily or monthly income. So rather than flip that house, you rent it out. And just so we get rid of the pain of real estate is, let's say you just, give it to a property management company. Let them take care of it. You just get checks every month. Now, are you going to get rich overnight? Let's see, even say you're making $1,000 a month, right? Renting. You're not going to get rich overnight. You're making 12 grand a year. That's cool, but it's not changing your life, right? But as that happens, right, as you pass down that property, as you leverage that property to buy another rental that's paying you $1,000 a month, and then another rental that's paying you $1,000 a month, right? That's where the real wealth is made, is residual income, not just, can I time the market right? Whether it's the housing market or the stock market or the crypto market, it's not just, can I time the market right? Can I get that big hit? It's what can I get that is consistently paying me daily, weekly, or monthly, long-term thinking, guys, right? Not short-term thinking.
Yeah. And another thing to that is that the beautiful thing about mine is 6 months can go by and you decide to sell all your coins, which is fine. The next day, you're still going to be receiving coins. But in that scenario, like you talked about, Mike, the guy who sells, he's totally out of the market. He's not getting any exposure to the potential upside, right? But with the mining, you could sell every day. You could sell once a month. You could sell once a year. And the next day, you're still going to be receiving coins. It's a no-brainer,
And here's the last point I want to make tonight, guys, is if you are talking about traditional crypto mining, okay, if you're talking about a Bitcoin farm or even Litecoin and Dogecoin, we're going to go on that tour in a minute, right? Sadly, Bitcoin mining is out of the realm of possibility for the average ordinary person, right? You need massive machines, technical know-how, probably millions of dollars to start it, cheap electricity. You probably have to move somewhere in the world where it's cheap electricity. Even if you're doing Dogecoin and Litecoin, right? You're going to need at least $5,000 per miner to get it started. You're going to have to pay monthly bills to host it, right? Then you're going to have to decide, when do I sell my Doge and Litecoin? The beauty of what Texit Coin is doing is crowdsourcing and crowdfunding this. So the average ordinary person can profit from this without having the technical know-how, without having to deal with physical miners, without having to, check in on, is a computer still up and running? That's the game changer here with Texit. And I've never seen anything like this, right? Where we're seeing verifiable proof of the physical mines being created. Now, is mining profitable? Of course. When Mims and I were down in Miami, we watched Trump's son give a speech about why he started ABTC, American Bitcoin. He started an entire company in the last 2 years to mine Bitcoin in West Texas. Donald Trump's son started a Bitcoin mine in West Texas. Texit is in Texas, and it's mining Litecoin, Dogecoin, and Texit Coin. Guys, I don't know how many things you need to see to make it click that this is the future. And the fact that you can get on this rocket ship for under $1,000 right now with literally knowing nothing about crypto or know-how and dealing with machines and computers and scripts and codes, this is the chance of a lifetime for the average ordinary person to finally be able to get ahead, to finally be able to get digital rewards sent to their own decentralized wallet every single day.
Yeah.
Mims, I know you got something to add there.
No, man, look, I love it. You know what I mean? This is the thing about the Runners Live show, what we've been doing over the years. And like I started out with, the show earlier, we're documenting, this reset. And then we're actually in real time providing the solutions, the education and the information and the access to capitalize on it. That's why it's important that you guys really like this out, share this out, so people can at least get this information and, take advantage of the opportunities that are there for them, because most people just don't even know the options that are available. The idea that you could buy something one time for less than $1,000 and receive the digital asset, cryptocurrency, the money every single day for the rest of your life, and you can sell that and spend that in the real economy, then continue to accumulate it, and you benefit from the rise in the value of the asset over time, and you can swap it or trade it out for any other digital asset that you want to out there in the crypto space. What are we talking about here?
I don't know, bro.
What are we talking
I
about?
don't know if people
What are we
don't get
talking
it.
about here? What are we...
Shout out to our boy Boone. Great line here. You want to get paid 3,650 times in the next 10 years from a one-time payment that's under $1,000.
Crazy.
Buy a seat on the Texit rocket ship.
That's right.
One more time.
Yep. Shout out, Boom. Keep doing your great work, brother. Helping the people.
So I wanted to do this too, Mims. I want to be like, what will AI say? All right. So I asked ChatGPT, I said, in 3 sentences or less, is it more profitable to mine or buy proof of work blockchain tokens? AI said, in most cases, simply buying proof of work tokens is more profitable than mining because mining requires high upfront costs, minimum $5,000, right? I'll show you guys that in a minute. All right. Ongoing electricity expenses, which if you did it all by yourself, that is true. You'd have to keep paying electricity. You'd have to move somewhere, some state in America where energy is the cheapest. And hardware maintenance, right? The know-how, 99.9% of people can't do that, won't do it. Not a good idea for them. Mining only becomes profitable if you have very cheap power and efficient equipment. For the average person, buying and holding is typically the better financial return. I thought about it, Mims. I got to be honest. AI is right. If we're talking about traditional mining, you're doing it all yourself, you have to deal with all that stuff. I agree. I'll just buy, right? But if you can crowdsource it, right? If you can take the collective energy of 50,000 people and the technical know-how, and when we can all benefit from it every day because we're forming a community to help people have an alternative currency system versus the US dollar, that's when it changes. So I asked AI Mims, I said, what if the upfront cost was under $1,000 to start mining, and you didn't have to worry about hosting, and you had free electricity. And it said, if your upfront cost is under $1,000, hosting is handled, and electricity is free, then mining is absolutely become more profitable than buying, especially over a long time frame. I should have even said it's mining for 136 years. Your only real cost is the hardware. So almost all mine coins become pure upside after break even. In that scenario, mining often outperforms buying, assuming the token's price is stable or rising. And Mims, I have people on our team who bought in June, July, haven't told a soul, just mining. They've already broke even. And
Wow.
AI nails it here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was fire. I mean, that's a perfect example of Texas. And even in the chat, you know, shout out to brother Andre. But he said he's made 13x on what he's paid for his miner. You know, and so, you know, this is the exciting thing, because in this economy, when you can really offer something to somebody that literally puts them in position to make more money than they probably would have normally made this year without this information, without this opportunity, that's exciting. That's a blessing. That's a really good thing. And then when you compound that with the fact that we talk about a real proof of work, layer one physical mining infrastructure, growing community and infrastructure, growing use case and utility. You know, like we talked about, mining for over 130 plus years, you'll be receiving a digital asset, creating generational worth, an asset that you can pass down to your loved ones. I mean, this is powerful. This is powerful because this is real. It's having a real change on people's lives, even our own. You know, me and Mike traveling the world, and you know, we have tens of thousands of dollars in coins, and we've made tens of thousands of dollars in commissions, helping people, you know, acquire these assets. And not to mention, we're still accumulating physical silver and gold. We're still getting paid for helping people accumulate silver and gold. And this is the mission is just do that. Just help people find solutions where there were none for them. In an economy where it's getting harder and harder for people to get ahead and see a brighter future for themselves. You know, we are the solution. We are the option, you know, and that's why, once again, I say, make sure y'all like this out, share this out so people can get this information. And hopefully those who got ears to hear, eyes to see, gonna take advantage.
Last point I want to make tonight, Mims, just so you guys can see this, right? This is what Texas is buying. They're buying Bitmain, Antminer, L9. We mine Texas coin, but we also merge mine Litecoin and Dogecoin. And this is huge. This is like what most people don't grasp, Mims, right? Is when you look at how much we can make from this, right? To sustain the project. Like, this is why I put it into you know, Chat GPT that way. Is it's not that the electricity is free, right? But it's paid for because the value of the blockchain is the layer one miners, right? So we are building 35 mining facilities in Texas. We have about 5 underway right now. So on the left here, just to put us in context, this is one of the guys I've been following on Twitter. Now he pays to do his own mining. Okay. So he's mining over $30 a day worth of Dogecoin. He runs 3 Bitmain L9s, the exact same ones that we run. So they make him about $1,500 a month, right? He pays $180 a month to host it. So he makes a profit of about $960 a month with 3 of them. So we break that down to one miner. Let's call it $330 a month. So one miner that costs you $5,000 up front, which most people don't have $5,000 up front. If you paid for that, you paid for this, you make $30 a month, right? That's a long-term thinking. Even with what he's doing, I think that's smart, right? Because obviously Doge and Litecoin right now are down. But let's think about this, guys. Let's think about what we're really crowdsourcing here with Texit. If one of our L9 miners is making $330 a month, once built out, we have 35 mining facilities in Texas with 200 miners each. 35 times 200, That's 7,000 total miners running in Texas. If they can make around 330 a month, that's $2.3 million a month of revenue, right? For the network to run, pay for electricity, upkeep on miners, marketing and promote, bringing on new downtown dollars, economic alliances. So, and again, this is when Doge and Litecoin are low. So my point here, guys, is what Texas is doing is different than 99.9% of blockchain and cryptocurrencies out there. We're doing it the hard way. We're building the physical mines, right? We're crowdsourcing this. It would be really easy to go to a millionaire or a billionaire and just say, hey, give us all this money. We're going to build this big mine, do this. That's what Eric Trump did. And I have no doubt ABTC is going to be highly successful. But most people can't do that, right? And the beauty of Texas is it is for the people. There's no corporations. There's no big banks. There's no multimillionaires who are coming in and buying up all the hash power and all the mines and all the tokens. This is for the people and by the people. And M.I.M.S, this is what gets me excited is bringing the power back to the people and having real, hard, honest money that is not as controlled and manipulated, but spreading freedom and liberty every single day.
Yeah, folks, get excited, man. I'm telling you, get excited. Like the rigging, the manipulation, okay, that we're seeing in the markets right now, the uncertainty and the fear and the doubt that we're seeing in the markets right now. Trust me, this is a blessing. It is an opportunity right now. I mean, and if Bitcoin drops to 75, I'm getting more excited. Why? Because I'm still mining digital assets and I'm getting paid to do so. And this is the best time ever in history to get wealthy when these assets are low like this. So I'm loving it. You know, obviously, I think that closing out this year, we're going to see a lot. I think there's going to be a lot to go down closing out, 2025 and going into 2026. And you just want to make sure you're ready for 2026. I think, Mike, where were we in Florida? And I had my
Miami.
2026, Miami. And 2026, I remember what it was. It's gonna come to me.
It was one word. It was
Yeah, it was
you were like, is it too long?
yeah.
I like took off an ing, maximizing something like that.
Maybe, yeah. But essentially 2026, because I talk about 2024. I said that 2024 was a reset. And I said 2025 it begins, and I talked about silver going over $50 an ounce, and at the beginning of the actual real infrastructure of blockchain and crypto being adopted on a major scale. And then 2026 is essentially its takeoff. You know what I mean? We're going to see, obviously, we have the ETFs, we have Clarity. That Clarity Act will be done before the end of the year. Stablecoin legislation, all this stuff, it's going to be done before 2026. Trump, that's why you're hearing Trump and this administration let you know that we're going to be first. We're going to get this stuff done. So in 2026 is when I think that we're going to really start to see the billions and trillions of dollars really start to flow on chain. We're really going to start to see the mass tokenization. We're really going to start to see these assets really take off in value. And that's why we get excited about these projects that we're in that have real use case, that have real value, that have real infrastructure, that have real community, and being able to accumulate these coins right now while they're cheap. I mean, Mike, we just bought a couple million more of Supra, the other day. I mean, there's, and Tau is looking at it, a good price and going down. And so we're buying, assets right now that are down, but we're also mining. We're also in digital asset, physical assets. So what a time to be allowed to be accumulating these assets. And you can imagine, even, and that's on a short term, we're talking about 2027, 2028, we're talking about 2030, 2035, have a bigger picture of where you think the liquidity, where you think the money is going to flow to, and plan your strategy out that way. Because most people expected to retire when they're 55 and 60 and 65 and things of that nature. But I'm telling you right now, the assets that we're accumulating, the projects that we're in the next 5 years, people are already retiring. 3 years, really. Even if it took you 10, but this is the whole point, is that don't sell your bags too early. Don't liquidate your bags. Don't spread your bags too thin. Keep accumulating the assets.
Well, and you bring it back full circle is that's why you want to be mining.
Yeah.
Right. The point Mims is making there is no matter what happens with the price, guys, if you believe in something long term and it goes down, continue to buy it. If somebody sent this to you, get back with them about getting a Texas miner as soon as you can. There is a great advantage into getting in before this Saturday. So if you have heard about Texas, you've been on the fence, you definitely want to get in before this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm not going to go into it right now, but guys, like this out, drop us some comments, tag a few people who need to learn and understand why you want to be mining versus buying crypto. Guys, this is it. This is the time. Take advantage of these dips. And if it dips again, you buy more. If it dips again, you just keep buying. That is what I love when it comes to this cryptocurrency space is there's opportunity everywhere because we are so new, we are so early, and we just keep winning.
That's right. Buy when there's blood in the streets. We're in
That's
massive
it.
fear right now.
Yes.
I love it. Lace